Hey everyone, it's Steve from the garden. This video, I'm going to be harvesting my matechi and my Chesnok Red garlics. You know, a few weeks back I harvested the music because it finishes up a little earlier, but now the matechi is ready, and then next week the Chesnok Red should be ready, so I'm going to combine those into one video. You can see the plants now have 4 of the 5 green leaves left on them, so it's definitely time for pouring them out. So we'll just get started pouring these out. Now matechi doesn't get as big as some of the other ones, and the cloves within each bulb are smaller, but we'll probably still get some big ones in here, I'm guessing. Now a few days ago I turned off the water line for this row, and that's so that it's not quite so muddy or wet as I pull these out. You can see there's plenty of dampness still in the soil, and I'll end up putting these out in the sun to dry out. I'm still going to go and pull back the last green leaf to help remove some of the soil that's on there, so it's a little easier to clean overall. And once this dries out, it'll be good enough for storage. The stem on this one's a little bit bigger than some of those other ones, but the bulb size is about roughly the same. Overall, the bulbs are in good condition now. They're not splitting or breaking apart. So I'm harvesting at the right time. And again, you can see you got 1, 2, 3, 4 good green leaves on there. So again, that's the right time to harvest, is at 4 of the 5. There's the harvest cleaned up, laying on the grass. So I'll leave this out for the rest of the days so that those outer skins start to dry out. As I mentioned before, matechi doesn't get as big as the music or the Chesnok Red, but I got some big ones here that I can use for replanting. I also ended up with some runts. Now, no prize for these for sure, but we can still use them in the kitchen, or I can turn them into garlic powder. So next week I'll cover the Chesnok Red harvest, and then we'll go from there. It's been a week since we harvested the matechi, so now it's time to go and harvest the Chesnok Red. Now I had some storms come through like last night and this morning, and it kind of knocked some of the garlic down, but it's ready for pulling, so we'll get started. I did pull a couple plants a few minutes ago just to kind of check to see how muddy the ground was. Wow, look at that one. That one is big. Real nice. That one's more of a medium or normal culinary size. But look at the size difference between those two. Anyways, you can see how the storm kind of knocked these down. Now these are all ready for harvest anyways, so it's not a big deal that they did get knocked down. That one's pretty nice too. So it just means that they might be a little dirtier or muddier as I pull them out. So Chesnok Red isn't necessarily known for the largest garlic bulbs. Wow, that one's really big too. Nice. But what I've noticed is that since I replant my own seed each year, that each year the bulbs on average are a little bit larger. So maybe over time they're just simply becoming adapted to my conditions, and since I only replant the largest ones, maybe that genetics is kind of coming into play with that too. I'm just going to go through and harvest these all in, and then we'll review and see what we've got. Wow, that one's... I'm really getting some real nice big ones on here. That one's pretty nice. Looks like it's going to be a really good year for Chesnok Red. I have the garlic all pulled out and laid in bundles, so now I get to go through and clean them up so they look more like those. I have all the garlic laid out in the sun so it can start drying out, and I put the biggest ones over here. This one looks to be about the very largest. You can see how big it is compared to my hand. And I had one that must have finished up early. You can see it's lost most of its protective skin on some of it. So this one may not be good at all, or we may be able to salvage a few of these cloves over here. There we have it. All the garlic has been put on the racks for curing, along with most of the onions. I still have a few onions that I have to put away. They were harvested late, so I need to trim the vegetation and get them on the rack. As far as the largest garlic bulbs I grew this year is without question the Chesnok Red. These are the ones I have grown the longest, and mostly from my own saved seed. So maybe they are really starting to adapt to my garden, and the genetics for me saving the largest bulbs or cloves each year for planting. This is a music, and this is the Chesnok Red, so you can kind of get an idea just how big they are. This is the largest music I had, and this is the largest Chesnok Red. This thing is just really big. The music garlic has been on the rack the longest, and these bulbs are now, you know, the outer skin is very papery and dry. So these I could actually go ahead and start storing, and then sorting out the largest ones for replanting in the fall. The other two varieties, they still probably need another week or so, and I'll be able to do the same process for them. I also did grow a matechi, and the largest bulbs of those are nothing like the music or the Chesnok Red. I'm not sure if I'll continue growing them next year or not. I do have two new varieties I'm going to be getting seed in for that we'll plant this fall. So you can look for that video around the end of October. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Until then, I hope you enjoyed, got something out of this, and we'll see you on the next one.